What could be your thesis statement? The thesis statement is a sentence that states the main idea of your project, and it helps control the ideas within the paper. It explains what the reader will gain from your paper. You give the framework of your project in the introduction, and then comes the thesis statement. For the project mentioned earlier on Hamlet, your thesis statement could be something like, in Hamlet, William Shakespeare uses the trope of procrastination to depict the psychological, moral, and political implications of regicide in Elizabethan England. Another example, like if your title is Juliet's Foil, the role of the nurse in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So for that, the thesis statement could be, the character of the nurse in Romeo and Juliet serves as a foil to young Juliet, and by delighting us with her warmth and earthly wit, she helps realize the tragic catastrophe. The thesis statement explains your assertion or opinion that also points to why you made that assertion. If your title is Samuel Beckett's Endgame as an absurd drama, your thesis statement could be, Samuel Beckett's Endgame reflects characteristics of the theatre of absurd in its minimalist stage setting, its seemingly meaningless dialogue, and its apocalyptic or nihilistic vision. Now, what could be an example for a weak thesis statement? Shakespeare is one of the best British authors. That's a weak thesis statement. So how can you strengthen it, or what could be a strong thesis statement? Shakespeare's ability to subvert cultural and social expectations makes him one of the best authors. So Shakespeare is a great author, that is my opinion. But I justify that by stating why. His ability to subvert cultural and social expectations. If someone asks you, what are your findings or what is your conclusion, you can easily state your thesis statement. A good conclusion begins with the thesis statement. Then you can summarize the main points and explain the context. After that, you need to explain the significance of your work. What is the relevance of your project? You have to mention the thesis statement in the introduction. The introduction should also contain the relevance of your title. You should explain why you chose the author, the works you are examining, and of course why you chose the title. Do not give an elaborate analysis of the significance of your title at this point, because you'll be doing that in the conclusion. When documenting the life of Shakespeare, you might be tempted to copy paste from some secondary source. You might think, what the heck, it is someone's life history. What can I contribute to that? You can contribute to this. You can make this meaningful. You may read about Shakespeare, but narrate the important events in his life in your own words. Remember that this biography of the author should have some relevance to your title. Try to find something about Shakespeare's personal life, his relations with his own father or his mother. Has he procrastinated any task? Then you write about the history of Hamlet. Did Shakespeare create the story of Hamlet, or did he create a version of an already existing legend? What was the political climate of England at the time he wrote Hamlet? What details can you give about the actors who performed the play? Has the play been performed in the 21st century? Did the director make any changes in his version? Another important term which forms a part of your introduction is methodology. This is the part where you tell your reader what methods you used in carrying out your project. Did you use some interviews, or was it just analytical? Did you use questionnaires to collect data? Or why you chose some authors from a particular time period for your study? Or why you did not choose some? You have to explain what their implications are, and also how your choices might limit or expand the scope of your study. You picked 3 books of an author. Why? Why not 6 or more? Or why not less? Why did you choose Shakespeare's version of Hamlet? You have to explain how your project is structured and how it is going to progress in the methodology part. You will explain the headings of your project, various chapters and what happens in those chapters. You will state chapter 1 is about this, and that in chapter 2 you deal with this, and then comes the conclusion. So all these aspects come under methodology. Research adds to the knowledge pool. To put it in a simple manner, when you play cricket, you must have seen that there are several types of deliveries. Essentially, the task of the bowler is to get the batsman out. You can bowl fast, medium, or spin. There is off spin and leg spin, and then there is Chinaman. In off spin there is Dusra, and then carom ball. In leg spin there is flipper, googly, and so on. These are all variations developed by various bowlers over several years. There might be 2 bowlers who bowl the Dusra, but they might be doing it differently, and the effect produced by the delivery might be completely different. It depends on the experience and the skill set of the bowler. In the same way, a research student can build on the work done by her seniors, and by doing a thorough analysis, she can contribute her own angle or knowledge or perspective to the way a text, a character, or a film is read. She can thus provide that aha moment. Research engages, entertains, and informs the readers.